and you're listening to Questboard, a podcast where we make up random side quests. My name is Brandon.
And I'm Tiffany. And just so y'all know, we are not professional writers in any way, shape, or form. We just really like tabletop RPGs and do this for fun.
Pretty much. So this episode, if I remember correctly, and if I could do math right, will be released on March 12th. And
Which is kind of close.
That's the
Sorry, it's
5
kinda close.
days before St. Patrick's Day.
Yep.
Yes. 5 days before St. Patrick's Day. So we sort of did a Valentine's episode before Valentine's Day. So we thought, okay, let's try to do a St. Patrick's Day episode. And we didn't want to do a quest about drinking, even though I sort of wanted to. But then I'll just be talking myself because Tiffy doesn't drink and doesn't understand drinking.
Not a drop.
So we can't go that route. And I don't think we want to talk about like make a D&D or fantasy version of St. Patrick himself.
That'd be awkward.
Yes. So we're doing the next best thing, which is an actual fantasy thing, which is leprechauns.
Just one leprechaun.
Just a single leprechaun. So we don't exactly have a posting yet. We're going to try to make one up, but we are going to just center this entire quest around leprechauns. A leprechaun.
Just one in particular.
And it feels kind of weird because it's just like we have no exact direction. We could go anywhere.
This
and it
is an
feels
open
weird.
quest. We have so much freedom.
Yes, and sometimes I don't like that. There's a lot of times where through creativity, it's nice to just be pointed to direction and then figure out from there, rather than I could go in any direction I want.
Well, let's look at the general lore of a leprechaun. They're mischievous, they cause problems, they typically have a pot of gold hidden somewhere, and there's usually a rainbow involved.
Okay, what are we going to do with that?
Well, I mean, part of the quest can be trying to find that pot of gold. That's usually how it goes. What if we put some sort of spin on that?
Like what?
I don't know. I was fishing for something from you.
Oh, I see how it is. Okay.
Yeah.
Is this gonna be just us fishing out the ideas for the other because we don't know what to do?
Isn't this how it usually goes?
Yeah, fair point. Okay. Let's say first idea coming to mind. A leprechaun being a trickster tricks the local noble, lord, or possibly even king into a trick in which he turns his firstborn son into pure gold, and he steals the statue of the sun and to add it to his pot of gold collection.
I love this. That is perfect.
That was just straight off the top of my head.
Hey, your head's a good place.
No, it's not.
Well, the top.
If you've been in there, no, it's not.
So, okay. Sun is now a statue. So we have characters now. We have a king.
It's like a King Midas kind of situation.
Yeah, except in reverse-ish.
Oh, what happens if, like, the king is, like, King Midas, where the leprechaun causes him everything he touched to gold because he wants that, and then he accidentally turns his son into gold, and the leprechaun knew he was going to do that.
King Midas into this one?
Well, it could be just a play off of King Midas.
It can be a play off of King Midas. We can name the king Midas. The king is named Midas. I don't know necessarily if we want him to turn his son to gold or the leprechaun to trick the king in some way and like magics his son to gold and then takes that statue because that is his prize for whatever wager they had.
Okay, this is the scene that kind of played out in my head, where it's like the leprechaun grants him the ability to, like, he wants to turn, like, everything he touches to gold. Maybe the kingdom is in a dire situation where they need money.
Yeah.
And he has a sense of desperation. And so he wishes that, and he's like, the leprechaun's like, well, yes, now you have the ability to touch things and turn into gold. And he touches one thing, and it turns into gold, and he's so amazed and all that stuff. And he's like, oh, what is the price for this? And the leprechaun's like, oh, I just need this. And he pushes the sun into the king, in which the king instinctively grabs hold of the sun, turning him into gold. And then the leprechaun, like, touches the statues and teleports out of there. Like, this is the price I need. And then takes the golden sun now.
Just instantly vanishes.
Yes. With a whisper and whisk away, like with a cheery like laugh that fades into
Would it be
Uh,
cheery or would it be a mischievous
a
corpse?
mischievous kind of cackle
Yeah.
or like small like giddy laugh.
Oh yeah.
But that's how I was imagining that.
I like it. I like it a lot.
I mean, that's a
So
total cutscene that parties never get to see. But
yeah, once again, this all happens before the quest.
we have to establish what happened.
I know, you need a story to build from. So we have that. So then the king puts out a quest for adventurers to help rescue his son. And the reward can be an amazing amount of gold because he can turn whatever he wants into gold.
And if ever, if the party meets the king, he's just sitting in his throne. He just has both hands up like he's a doctor about to go into surgery.
Oh, I've seen and heard of stories where he's wearing golden gloves.
Yeah, I've
Because
heard that too.
puts on a pair of gloves, they turn to gold, but they're still like, they're like gold
It's
thread or
not
something.
him touching it anymore. It's the
Yeah,
golden.
so he just has the gloves on, so he can still have hands. But yeah, it could be that sort of situation, something along those lines. So yeah, he hires the adventurers to find this leprechaun who has kidnapped his son, and he's like,
He doesn't
he
even
heals-
know if like. I think it's like initially it's a revenge thing
I think it would be revenge.
because he thinks that the leprechaun tricked him into killing his son.
Yes.
And then I think it'd be like optional quests or optional thing is like they could basically find a way to save the kid. So
I
that could be
think
like
killing-
the true ending or the like positive bonus ending kind of thing.
I think killing the leprechaun would end the, I guess, enchantment on the king. So it would take away his ability to turn things to gold. But also, I feel like it would turn everything he turned to gold back.
You think,
Like,
or do you want to have it set up where it's like killing leprechaun ends the contract with the king, but everything he still touches turns to gold, but then maybe they do something extra to be able to revive the son.
I feel like a leprechaun would have contingencies built in. Like, if something happens to him, his gifts go away.
I agree with that. I'm just wondering if the gift of turning things into gold would then, if you lost the ability to turn things into gold, doesn't that mean the things you already turned into gold stays gold because they already turned to gold?
Yeah, but what if they turn back? It's like, went back on your deal, so I'm taking back everything I gave you.
Okay. And I mean,
But
that
then
could
in the
lead
end-
down to another quest of like, you now have to help the kingdom's financial troubles because they're still in debt.
Well, but then in the end, after finding the leprechaun and killing him,
Oh, then
you find his
leprechaun's
treasure
crime.
trove.
Oh, okay, and that solves the
Yeah.
whole crisis. Okay, I see.
And
what
you
you
get
mean.
a portion of that because you helped save the kingdom and
Okay,
stuff.
okay.
The
Yeah,
rest of the treasure goes, yeah.
two birds with one stone. I get what you mean. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay,
So
that totally works.
That's the question in a nutshell. Happy episode. Yeah.
Thanks for listening. Follow us on Twitter.
No, we need more details than that.
Yeah, we always put ourselves through more torture of forcing us to come up with
Hey.
details.
I'm having fun.
Okay, I'm just saying the bard behavior episode, we force ourselves to do. I mainly forced us to do 7 days worth of torture with the bard.
Yeah, that was your fault.
But I felt like you need to come up with a bunch of examples of just things to torture the party with.
That is also fun.
It was just at that moment we were really like trying to force creativity, which is harder.
Yeah, forcing creativity is never the answer. But I still like what we came up with.
Which makes
so-
me appreciate like professional writers so much
Oh
more.
my gosh, yes.
Or like professional writers for like books or screenplays or anything like that. I don't know how you could just force yourself to sit down.
It's like
and do
every
things.
week a new episode. How do you do it?
Well, to be fair, like they usually write the entire season
That is
before
true.
recording or like actually the production of it.
Yeah, we're just doing this on the fly.
Yeah, we're improv. We're so cool.
This is just the brainstorming session.
Pretty much. I think that was what I was hoping for this podcast is just spitballing, brainstorming.
Yeah. And then our listeners can do with it whatever they wish.
Everything draws inspiration. So hopefully these things inspire people to make their own or even just use it straight up. But like
Yeah.
if it inspires hey, I could do something with that. That's always like a sign of like appreciation towards the original.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Imitation is the sincerest form of flattery.
Anyways, so pretty much we know the beginning, we know the end to this leprechaun quest.
Yes.
And then at the very end, we need to say what the actual job posting is.
Well, I feel like at this point we could come up with the job posting because we know the backstory.
Okay, sure.
It could start with "My son has been turned to gold."
I feel like since it's the king, it should be more
Ooh, yeah.
formal, regal slash proper.
It could start with the line "Royal Quest," so like this is a quest from the king.
Yes. In search of a devious leprechaun that has murdered the first prince.
Or you could start with "The
What's
king
the names?
requires
What's the
the
names?
assistant." We got Midas.
Yeah, we have King Midas.
First
What's his
prince.
What's his son's name?
I want to name him something like with gold in it.
I'm
Hmm.
just thinking. Okay, what was that guy's name?
What guy?
Gilgamesh.
Ooh. You want to just call him Gil?
Gil. Okay, Gil as inspired from Gilgamesh. I'm just thinking of. Did you ever watch the Fate series anime?
Like one season of it.
I think it was Fate's Stay Night, where Gilgamesh was one of the fighters,
Ooh,
and he was totally overpowered. It was like
nice.
it pissed me off, and like it was not fair at all. Um,
Aw.
but his abilities were he would just like spawn in like weapons like through these sort of portal things, and they just shot out. And they were, I believe, if my memory serves right, they were all golden weapons. And I
Oh,
think
of
he had
course.
golden hair and all that stuff because Gilgamesh is like the king of kings or something like that.
Okay. Yeah.
Uh, that's why it just made me think of like golden is because of that anime
Yeah.
portrayal of him.
Right. That works. I
Okay.
think Gil is also. I don't remember what the game is, but the name of the money in a
Oh,
in a game somewhere.
that's Final Fantasy
Hey,
is
that's what it
Gil.
was. There you go. So it's a term for money as well.
Okay. Prince Gil, first Prince Gil, heir of son of King Midas.
Yes.
So I think the job posting would be nefarious or malicious leprechaun uh, murders the first Prince Gil,
The
looking
first prince has been murdered.
seeking or should it just be a wanted poster or should it be like
Oh yeah, just a flat up wanted poster. Would it
yeah.
have an artist's rendition of the leprechaun on it and like his name?
Well, okay, what is the leprechaun's name? If we yeah, he should have a
Hmm.
name, shouldn't he?
Yeah. Sorry. Oh, here we go. I found a leprechaun name generator. Patty?
Why is wait, hang on.
Wait, what?
Why is there a specific generator like for leprechauns?
Why not?
I mean,
There's a leprechaun. I mean, there's name generators for everything.
it just seems so weird.
Welcome to the internet.
True.
Patty O'Mahony.
Patty home what?
O, comma, Mahoney. Mahoney.
Mahoney.
Patty O'Mahony.
That seems like a tongue twister.
I like it. Wouldn't a
Mahoney.
leprechaun want a tongue twister for a
How
last
good
name
is your
or a
Irish
name?
accent?
Patty O'Mahony.
I mean, okay, good
I
enough.
can't. I usually
Better
can't do
than me.
Irish very well.
If I have the time, my friend Tyler has a really good Irish accent. I might ask him to just record real quick of him saying the name.
Nice.
If I do, I will put in right here.
Top of the morning to you. It's Patty O'Mahony, and I'm here to make a deal.
That's great. Thanks, Tyler.
Yep, anytime.
Hopefully he will agree to that. Okay. Thank you, future me, on actually editing that. Anyway,
Now you just have to remember to.
so it's just a wanted poster for Patty O'Mahony.
Yes, wanted and like a really high price.
Murder for Prince Gil.
For the murder of the first prince.
Yeah.
Of the heir to the throne, actually.
So it could be any it could be anywhere the party starts. Then they don't have to meet with the king or anything like that.
Nope. It's out there. So a wanted poster. That's our quest board posting. That's way too easy. I love it.
Okay. Yeah, we haven't had a wanted poster start yet.
Nope. Maybe that's what our insert ones where we don't actually use a quest board post can just be as wanted posters.
Yeah, but okay. I think if we use that too much, it'll be boring.
Hey, wanted posters are a common thing.
Yeah, but it depends on the situation. I sometimes like more uniquely phrased ones.
Yeah, I know. It's more fun when you have something to read. Anyway, this one's a wanted poster. For the murder of the heir to the throne, Patio Mahoney. Really large sum of money for reward.
Now,
So-
where do we put him?
Uh,
The hard
Yeah, how do you-
part.
how do you find a leprechaun?
It's always, oh God, they always say it's like at the end of the rainbow is a
Yeah,
pot
you
of gold.
follow a rainbow. That's how you find a leprechaun. You follow a rainbow. How do you follow
But-
a rainbow?
Yeah, the problem is you can never get to that's the thing in real life is you can never get to the end of a rainbow.
You need to figure out how to follow a rainbow. You need to find the magic that will allow you to follow the rainbow.
Okay.
To maybe make the rainbow solid.
How do we do that?
I don't know. Somebody with magic?
I came up with the base one. It's your turn.
Yeah, I know. Maybe there's a very well-known magician or magic user or something, someone who that king would have just gone to them.
Okay.
How do you follow a rainbow? Jeez.
Okay. I'm going to tell something out there.
What's up?
Do you remember? I told you could cash this in, but I might cash it in for you. Remember the Glare Bear episode where I was just really not feeling up for the crazy old woman?
Yeah,
What happens if we just put her here?
I like this.
And I think if I remember correctly, her name has to be Tiffany.
That's fine.
Okay.
So,
We could do the
Crazy
old
Tiffany.
crone, crazy woman.
perfect. And if anyone wants, they don't want to use the name Tiffany for an old crone,
No,
you can use.
it has to be Tiffany.
Eh,
If you use this one,
eh.
it has to be Tiffany.
Hey, you can use the ancient form of the name Tiffany, Theophania.
Is that true?
That is true.
That sounds so immature.
Beautiful. What do you mean, immature?
Let's say the name again.
Theophania.
Fania. Fanny.
Theophania.
Yeah, but it still has Fanny in it.
Of course it has Fanny, so does Tiffany.
But not as pronounced.
I might be saying it wrong.
But Fanny is funny and immature.
Oh my
I
god.
know this because I'm immature.
Yeah, so are all the people who tried to make fun of my initials when I was little, so meh.
What was your initials with your maiden name?
Just TT, like toilet tissue.
Okay.
Someone tried that.
I had to like spend a second to like wrap that around my brain. Okay. Because I think of like TP, toilet paper. When
Yeah,
you
I know.
TP someone's house. I don't
So-
think TT as it.
Some people in some areas of the world refer to it as toilet tissue instead of toilet paper and will use the abbreviation TT.
Those people are weird. They're probably the same people that say calls like soda Coke. Like all soda is
Who
Coke.
calls all sodas Coke? Only one brand of soda is Coke, and only one
No.
flavor of that brand of soda is
It's
Coke.
southern states. I think
And
southern
I
states.
don't like Coke.
Or it's like Midwest.
It's somewhere.
I know there's a region in the US that say Coke, meaning all sodas.
That's odd.
Right?
I mean, there's often like discourse between do you call it soda or do you call it pop?
Well, I think soda's the West Coast thing. Pop is a New England or Northeast thing, maybe?
I say pop usually.
Really?
Yep.
I've always said soda. Anyways,
I'm good either way. Just not Coke.
we
Back
are
to the story.
we are being derailed really hard. Get back on the train.
All right. So we gotta find a leprechaun. Crazy
yes.
lady tells you how to find it.
Should we just
Gotta
have her be like a Witch of the Woods like thing? Like
Oh yeah, like
is
a
it
good
like
hack.
a certain time of the day you would see the rainbow
Yeah.
and it would lead to a forest, but then it would cause people to like lose themselves in the forest, and that's when the party will encounter a Witch of the Woods, which would
Okay.
be the crazy old lady Tiffany
And she gives
or
them a special
Tiffany or whatever.
Theophania, whatever you want to call her.
Aunt
So-
Fanny, okay.
Fanny it is. I like that character. So she gives them a magical charm that will allow them to catch the rainbow. Give you one guess as to what that magical charm is.
Is it marshmallows?
Actually, no, that's not what I was thinking, but now I want marshmallows.
Well, I'm just thinking Lucky Charms right now, so it's cereal.
I know. Yeah, I'm really hungry. This is not fair. I think I was hungry in the last episode, too.
You're a glutton.
Thanks.
No.
No, I was
problem.
thinking of four-leaf clover.
Yes, I know what you were thinking. Everyone's
or
on
a
that
horseshoe.
by a way, okay?
It's
Or
obvious. It's like,
or
oh, here, use this magic charm.
no,
Reaches down and plucks it.
or does she direct them towards it so they have to find it, and that's what leads to some like interesting battles.
Or give them a really cryptic riddle or really obvious riddle.
Okay, can you think of a riddle right now?
I may have been messing with a thing earlier that gave me a riddle about them. Just give me a minute.
Oh, okay.
Find it.
So people at home while she's looking up, we've been sort of
found it.
messing out with Chat GPT. If you guys have heard of it, it's a newer open AI thing. We've been playing around with it.
All right, I got the riddle.
Okay.
In a field I am found, but once a year I leave the ground. I bring good luck, or so they say, and on this quest, I'll guide the way. And you can use that voice clip for your hag, or whatever forest person
Okay.
you've used.
No. You gotta do like a cackling like Witch of
Oh
the Woods
gosh,
voice.
don't make
Come on.
me read it again.
No, I
Here we
believe
go.
in you.
In a field I am found, but I leave the ground. I bring good luck, or so they say, and on this quest, I'll guide the way. How's that for your voice acting?
Good. Matt Mercer should be worried. So she could just give that kind of riddle.
Yeah.
That's like, okay, we need to find this. Let's say there's a special cove or maybe like a outcropping, like there's a clearing in the forest that they only grow on kind of thing.
Yeah, like a magic clearing. Maybe
Yeah.
there's stones around it.
Ooh, yeah, we could have like magical stones, and they're like the stones
Or maybe
are shaped in like a horseshoe and a balloon and a ring.
Oh my gosh. Really?
Yes.
One of them must be a balloon, though, because didn't they take the balloons out?
Did they take that out?
I think so. It's like
Aw.
hearts, stars, and horseshoes.
I forgot about the star and heart.
Yeah, hearts, stars, and horseshoes, clovers, and blue moons. Blue moons? No, balloons. No. Is it blue moon or balloon?
No, there was a crescent moon.
Pots of golden rainbows and the red balloon. There we go.
Oh, you looked
Yeah.
it up? Okay.
Pff, no, that's all straight from memory right there. I would not lie about this. I actually remember them.
It's been a long time since I ate those.
Yeah, but
Yes, the
think
stones
recently-
are around this like clearing.
but like they could have maybe runes carved into them that spell out all of these things, or do you want them to actually have those items on it?
No, I'm saying that the stones are just in the shape of those things,
Oh, okay.
just as a gag.
Oh man, that's corny. But yes, the giant marshmallow stones.
No, I would like I imagine like Stonehenge, kind of like those kind of.
Well,
stones,
yes, yeah, Stonehenge style, but
just carved into those shapes.
they're known as the stones of marsh.
We're in a swampland.
Yes,
I
it's
don't-
in
I
a
don't-
marsh. The stones of the marsh.
Yeah, I don't know if four-leaf clovers actually grow in those, but this is magical. Screw it.
Right, this patch of land defies nature.
Okay.
So within the stones of the marsh, the patch of land grows like vibrant and green, whereas all around it is death and decay.
Okay. And if the party goes and tries to like if they enter the area, there will be a hag that says, "You're always after me charms."
Oh my gosh. No, that's gotta be the leprechaun saying it.
No, because this is just a thing to lead to the leprechaun. The leprechaun has to be at his pot of gold.
Okay.
Do you want a second leprechaun?
No,
I don't-
No,
we
that
need
could be
only
the hag
one.
saying that.
Or like who would like we it'll be just funny if it was a talking enemy that like lives there or protects those four-leaf clovers and just says the lines like "You're after me charms,"
Yeah, I can tell you're after me charms.
but not saying the full line, and then you just see that the stones are shaped like a star, a heart, a horseshoe, a rainbow, and a balloon,
And a clover
and a clover.
and a pot of gold.
Uh,
The whole spiel. Hearts, stars, horseshoes, clovers, and blue moons, pots of golden rainbows, and the red balloons. You gotta get them all in there.
this is turning into a joke about the cereal.
It is, but I mean, the cereal is very heavily leprechaun based.
Yes,
I really want some right now, but I don't trust our milk.
that
Alright,
sounds gross.
Yeah. So they find the clover, which then allows them to walk towards a rainbow without it moving away from them. So
Yeah.
the pot of gold is always at the end of the rainbow, but it moves constantly because like it's all over
Or
the place.
or is it like in that deep part of the forest is just magically enchanted to cause people to get lost and turn around and then leave? And
But
then
you can't see rainbows in the forest.
but that's what like I'm saying like the rainbow leads them into like this deep dense part of the forest in which
Okay.
if you go into it because that's the last known location you get magically lost and always turn you around to turn around or like exit out of it. But with the four-leaf clover it like creates a like golden like trail that you would see in video games where it just leads you to your next objective kind of thing.
Is it a yellow brick road?
No, because that doesn't reference anything Leprechaun. That's the
Yeah,
Wizard of Oz.
I know, but you said Golden Trail, so I thought yellow brick road.
I recently played the game Forspoken, and it was a golden like light that led you to where you need to go next. So that was the first thing I thought of.
Got it.
Also,
What if
if anyone is thinking about playing that game, don't play it. It's very mediocre. Wait until it's on sale, at least half off.
So what if the clover just allows you to get to your destination in the forest, no matter which way you turn? Instead of turning you away at every step, it takes you to your destination with every step.
That's pretty much yeah. It's just guiding you through it
Right.
so that you can't be turned around.
Like a blind faith moment, you just follow the clover.
Yeah, like a part of that riddle is like it will guide you on your quest. So
Yeah.
it'll guide you to where the pot of gold is.
Yes.
Okay. And
Right.
then
So they have reached the pot of gold.
and there is Patty.
Yes. Sitting there counting his gold. Or repairing his shoes, since that's another part of the folklore.
Or maybe he's like okay, what I'm just imagining like maybe the Gil's arms is outstretched and so he's just laying in between like the arms like cradled in the arms as
Oh
he's
my
like
god.
counting or like whittling away at like a cobble like a
Yeah,
wooden
no,
shoe.
he's sitting in the arms of Gil, not counting his money, but like fixing a shoe because he's been running around so much because that's just what they do, running around causing mischief.
And he's
that he needs to
whistling
finish.
and all that stuff.
Oh yeah, and the closer you get, the louder you hear a merry tune, his whistling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then so you fight him.
Yeah,
I think
just
he'll
a fight
be
ensues.
extremely pissed off that, you know, you're here to steal his gold. He's going to assume that you just want to steal his gold.
Yeah, it'll probably start out with a "How the heck did you even find me?"
And then you're
type
like,
of
with
situation.
this, and you hold up a four-leaf clover.
And he like crosses his fingers and hisses at you like a no.
Vampire to a cross.
Yeah. Yes. No. I don't know.
No. Do you want? Because I feel like now we're getting to the point where it's just like you kill him, go back, meet the king, get your reward. He's very grateful that you saved the first prince. He thought he was dead. Blah blah blah. Quest over. Do you want to think of any special abilities or spells or anything that Patty can use in his fight?
Feel like it should be calling on D&D knowledge right here, a kind of wild magic type of situation. Maybe every now and then the leprechaun will point at someone and the game master can roll on a table of trickery. Some silly shenanigan will happen to that player.
Like what?
I don't know, suddenly they quack instead of talking, which would hamper any magic users that have to say their spells.
Okay.
Or
I feel
suddenly
like
their hair starts growing uncontrollably and they have to deal with that while also trying to fight this thing, so it gives them like a disadvantage of sorts.
I would say two things. One, I feel like Patty would use just a bunch of illusion type magic.
Oh, for sure, yes.
But two, this would be an interesting point to do something that I've had as a planned side quest for years now because I've been making quests before this podcast, guys.
What? No, really?
But yeah, I would spend time like my free time in my head just thinking of random things, and I came up with this side quest.
Do tell.
Where it was about like a town that like every red moon, which was like I think set up for every like twice a year or something like that.
Oh yeah.
Once a
Forgot about
red
red moon.
moon, the river would run upwards, and they like the
Ooh.
villagers didn't know why, so they hired the adventurers to do that. And it would lead them to a place where only you could go through if the river ran upwards to abandon
Hmm.
like busted old manor or castle. But once they get there and like there's gonna be several fights, blah blah blah, they would meet like an oracle and all that stuff. It'll be like a
Okay.
grotesque like hag kind of oracle where her eyes are actually in her hand kind of thing. Anyways,
Oh, they're fun.
but the start of the fight, I thought of a very interesting thing that maybe Patty could do, which
Okay.
is a illusion based magic where hopefully the this means I can't use it on our D&D group because now you know this.
I'll
Uh,
probably forget. You know me.
yeah, that's true. It requires that the party is an even number.
Okay.
And if they all fail I think it was like a wisdom saving throw.
But you can set that pretty obnoxiously high if you want.
Yeah. Basically, then it'll be I will like describe different like scenes for every person in which they will be quote unquote teleported to like a secluded woods into a back alley of a deserted town or like in a flower meadow, and they would see a grotesque creature and then they will individually fight them. That's adding a lot to the initiative tracker, but what they would try to constantly do saves at the end of the turn is they're just seeing their illusion person that they're seeing is actually a different member of the party.
Okay. So you're making the party fight each other.
Yes, through illusions. Every time someone gets hit, basically, I thought of like, okay, if the fighter went, he would describe his moves. And then right before, let's say he was going against the ranger, I paired them up. Before the ranger's turn, I would say, oh, the creature that you see, ranger, he goes before you. And I would describe almost exactly what the fighter did.
Yeah, but the players being outside of that would notice it pretty quick.
Maybe they will, maybe they won't.
I
But
got a fun one for you.
if they ever got hit, then they could roll a wisdom save to see if like that pushes them out of the illusion.
Yeah,
But I
that's a
thought
very
that was a
interesting trick.
interesting like a start to a combat.
I've got an interesting one for you.
Okay.
Similar concept. At the start of combat, the Patty, our leprechaun, will create an illusion. But the illusion is that all of the players see each other as another Patty. So now there's a ton of Patties running around. And in doing
Hmm.
so, he also trades everyone's locations as well. So everyone realizes that they've been moved around, but also everyone just looks like the leprechaun.
But then that one could be dispelled through metagaming. Because if everyone knows that their location is here and they see everyone else as Patty, but then the next player's like, okay, where am I? You're here. And you see everyone else as Patty. Eventually it'll be like, oh, which one wasn't said that they were there?
There is that too. Yeah, there's
Also,
always the
when it's the game master's turn, then it's like, oh yeah, this Patty does that. Well, that's the only other Patty.
how about at the start of each player's turn, everyone gets shuffled again?
Okay. One, we could just turn that from that to Patty
Or you can
just
just say
makes
no metagaming.
uh people will always metagame. What
I
happens
know.
if we do a Naruto clone jujitsu?
Jujitsu is just jutsu.
Oh, sorry, I don't watch it. Um,
It's okay.
I was close.
I will admit I've watched it.
But yeah, do something like that where it just creates a bunch of clones.
Okay,
Or
okay. So just a million
or
patties.
if you
not a
want a
million.
wacky one, this is one that happened in a D&D podcast I listened to. One of my favorite ones, Dungeons and Daddies. Yeah, they do a lot of swearing and cursing, but it's hilarious. They did an episode where people like swat bodies.
Oh,
So
I have also heard this happen in a different
so
podcast.
someone who like the person still plays the physical body, but then they switch character sheets.
Yes.
And so that the ranger is in the rogue's body. The rogue is so then the person who's playing the body has to portray the personality of the person they're stuck like that's stuck in their body. because they still have their voice or the
Yeah,
body's
so they're
voice.
still playing their own character,
No,
but they
they're
have the
playing
abilities of the body that they're in.
they're playing their own body, but they have the character sheet and personality of someone else.
Oh, see, I was gonna spin it as like, they swap their character sheets, yes, and they're playing, the character that's in the body. Like they're playing the mind.
Yes, they are.
They're still playing themselves, but they have a different set of ability. However it spins, they
Yeah.
swap their character
They
sheets.
basically become a different class.
Become another person.
Yes.
Become another person.
So it requires a lot of like just acting of and basing off of what you perceive their character is.
Yeah.
Which could be a very funny thing to do
Yes.
if done correctly. I could see how that could be done poorly, but I think that will be a funny, just goofy way of doing it, where Patty will just swap the bodies just to confuse them and then do the fight.
That could be the whole fight, is they have to do that in their other bodies. There
Yeah.
could be some other shenanigans happening too, maybe some illusion work, but mostly just, oh no, we swapped bodies.
Yeah, and I think that would be a funny thing to role play.
Yes.
Okay, so
there's our fight.
whatever you want to do that, I think our canonic version is when the party finds Patty, he's gonna be upset because he thinks that they're gonna steal his gold. He's gonna be aggressive,
Yes.
and so he is going to magically swap their bodies
And hope that's enough to confuse them.
and then do illusion-based magic throughout the fight. Do clones or like what's that spell? Mirror image.
Something along those lines.
And just do stuff like that. And then the party will defeat them. Then Gil will no longer be gold.
Nice.
Asks the party to take him to the palace. The king rewards them greatly with a portion of the gold,
Yep.
and it'll be perfect.
Yay, happy ending.
That wasn't too bad of a quest.
I quite enjoyed it.
Uh,
Especially because my crazy person got put in.
you got put in.
Yes.
Aunt Fanny
Me.
got put in.
Aunt Fanny it is.
That's her nickname. Her name is Tiffany, but it's Aunt Fanny
Yes.
for short. Okay.
Affectionately called Aunt Fanny.
If you guys actually like this kind of thing where we just make one based off a specific enemy, because I've had that thought before of possibly doing like random like D&D or Pathfinder creatures. If we just make quests centered around a specific creature, let us know if you guys actually like that. We could possibly do this in the future. You can let us know on Twitter at QuestBoardPod. If your party does do this and you switch the bodies, let us know what happened with that whole incident, how well they played that out.
I want to hear all about that.
Or if you have quest board postings of your own that you want to submit, hit us up on the same social media. With that, I wish you all good night.
And happy questing.